Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Wahyuni. I'm from TBID class. In this video, I would like to analyze lexical categories, phrasal categories, and tree diagram in 7 sentences. I took the sentence in Okara Journal under the title Analyzing the Speech Sound Structures of Indonesian Child Language that arranged by Susanto, Darisisnanda, and Chun Susi. Let's check it out. Well, for the first sentence is they are capable of anticipating the language. Before knowing the tree diagram of this sentence, some steps that we have to know is what is lexical categories and what is phrasal categories of this sentence. From lexical categories, I found one lexical categories of this sentence, namely the language. We can analyze the language in this sentence of what kind of lexical categories in this word. The language. The language is included to syntactic frame because it's not a word but it's a phrase. So that if a phrase, it's included to syntactic frame. How can we include it into syntactic frame? Because the language is formed by determiner plus noun, so that it becomes the language. So that the language is a noun because it's formed by determiner plus noun. For the second step is phrasal categories. As we know that phrasal categories is divided into some kinds such as noun phrase, adverbial phrase, verb phrase, adjective phrase, and prepositional phrase. From this sentence, I found two kind of phrasal categories, namely noun phrase and the noun phrase one. The first noun phrase is they. Even though it's only one word on one syllable, but it included two noun phrase because it becomes subject. For the second one, noun phrase is the language. Well, after we know the lexical categories and phrasal categories, so that we are able to draw the tree diagram of this sentence. As we know that in a sentence, it's always divided into noun phrase and verb phrase. From this sentence, they are capable of anticipating the language. The noun phrase of this sentence is they, and the verb phrase of this sentence is are until the last one. They as noun phrase and are capable of anticipating the language is verb phrase. So we can draw the tree diagram of this sentence. From the sentence, we can divide it into noun phrase and verb phrase. They as a subject or as noun phrase. For the verb phrase, we can divide it into some steps because in this sentence the verb is not usual, so that we can take are as the verb of this sentence because the verb is not only the action of its word but the to be, it is able to become a verb. So that the verb of this sentence is are. We can draw a verb is are, capable of anticipating the language because capable is adjective, so that we can draw adjective phrase. And after that, we are able to divide it again into adjective as capable and of anticipating the language as prepositional phrase. Is there any element that still become or still divided into the smallest one? Of course, in prepositional phrase of anticipating the language, we can divide it again into a prepositional phrase and noun phrase. The prepositional phrase can be divided into preposition and noun. Why is anticipating included to noun? Why it's not verb? Because of anticipating after of is always noun. So that anticipating included to noun or the gerund. And for the noun phrase is the language. We can divide it into determiner plus noun. After that, after the smallest element that we draw, so that we draw the line of these three diagrams. Make sure that the line straight away to the below. After that, we have to rewrite the word of this sentence. Noun phrase is they, the verb is are, the adjective is capable, the preposition is of, the noun is anticipating, determiner is the, and the noun is language. So that here is the three diagram of this sentence. Well, for the second sentence is the children speak the words. At the previous number, we have to know the lexical categories and phrasal categories. And for this sentence, the lexical categories, I found two words, namely the children and words. For the children, it's include to syntactic frame because it formed by determiner plus noun, so that it becomes the children. So that the children is noun. And for the second one, that include two morphological frame, namely words. Why? Because it's formed by noun plus s as plural, so that it becomes words. So words is a noun because it's included to morphological frame. For the second steps, I found two phrasal categories of the sentence. The first one is noun phrase. The noun phrase of the sentence is the children itself. And for verb phrase from this sentence is speak the words. After that, after knowing the lexical categories and phrasal categories one, and we are able to draw the three diagrams of this sentence. As usual, the sentence always consists of noun phrase and verb phrase. Which one the noun phrase of the sentence? It's of course the children. The children is noun phrase. Speak the words is verb phrase. So that the children in noun phrase we can divide it into determiner plus noun. For the verb phrase, we can divide also into verb 1 and noun phrase. Is there any word that's able to divide it again? Of course, it's the words in noun phrase. We can divide it also. The words become determiner and noun, because we have divided into the smallest element, so that after that we are able to draw the line of the sentence. After that, we have to write again the word of this sentence. The children speak the word. Well, for the third one is it focuses on the structure of the chart. From the lexical categories, I found three kind of words that included two lexical categories. The first one is the word of focus. Why? I included into morphological frame because it forms by verb plus third person singular morpheme, so that it becomes focus. From this occasion, the focus is a verb. For the second one is the structure. The structure is included to syntactic frame because it formed by determiner plus noun, so that it becomes the structure. Okay. In this occasion, the structure is a noun. For the second one is the child. The child also included to syntactic frame because it formed by determiner and noun also, so that it becomes the child. So in this occasion, the child is noun. For the second one, the phrasal categories, I found two noun phrases in this sentence. The first one is the structure. I mean the structure of the child. I mean is this PP. The prepositional phrase of the sentence is of the child. Mentions for preposition. After that, we are able to draw the tree diagram of the sentence. As usual, sentence always consists of noun phrase and also verb phrase. It is noun phrase focuses on the structure of the child is verb phrase. Well, because the verb phrase is long enough so that we are able to divide it into some elements. The first one is verb, the second one is prepositional phrase. The verb is focuses, the prepositional phrase is on the structure of the child. Is there any element that still can to divide again? Of course, prepositional phrase, we can divide it into preposition and noun phrase. Preposition is on, the noun phrase is the structure of the child. The noun phrase and the noun phrase we can divide it again into noun phrase and prepositional phrase. The noun phrase itself is the structure, namely determiner plus noun, and prepositional phrase is preposition and noun phrase. And the last one, noun phrase, we are able to divide it again into determiner plus noun. After that, we draw the line of this sentence. Okay, the noun phrase is it, the verb one is focuses and is on, determiner is the, noun is structure, preposition is of, determiner is the, and the noun is child. And for the fourth one is the child has attention to the sound. From this sentence, I found two lexical categories, namely the child and the sound. It's included to syntactic frame. Both of them it's included to syntactic frame because it's formed by determiner plus noun, so that it becomes the child and the sound. So that the child and the sounds are noun. For the phrasal categories, I found three phrases, namely noun phrase. Noun phrase in this sentence is the child. The verb phrase of the sentence is his attention sounds. And the prepositional phrase of the sentence is to the sound. we draw the tree diagram of this sentence. Noun phrase, verb phrase. The child is noun phrase. We can divide it into determiner plus noun. His attention to the sound. We can divide it into three branches. The first one is verb. The second one is noun phrase. Second one is prepositional phrase. The verb is has. The noun phrase is attention, and the prepositional phrase is to the sound. Prepositional phrase, we can divide it into preposition plus noun. Noun is determiner. Noun. So that we can draw the line. Determiner is the noun is child, the verb is has, the noun phrase is attention, the preposition is to, determiner is the, and the noun is sound. Okay, the fifth sentence is parents or teachers can play a role in improving pronunciation. In this sentence, I found three lexical categories of the sentence. The first one is parents, the second one is teachers, and the last one is a role. Parents and teachers is include two morphological frame because it's formed by noun plus s as plural, so that it becomes parents and teachers. So parents and teachers are noun. For the second one, that include two syntactic frame is a role because it's formed by determiner plus noun, so that it becomes a role. In this occasion, a role is noun. And for the phrasal categories, I found two kind of phrases. The first one is noun phrase. The noun phrase of this sentence is parents or teachers. The prepositional phrase is in improving, and after that we can draw the tree diagram of this sentence divided into noun phrase plus verb phrase. Because the sentence is parents or teachers can play, from this occasion can it's include two modal, so that there are three branches of this sentence, namely it's put in the middle. From the noun phrase, parents or teachers as noun phrase can play a role in improving pronunciation as verb phrase. From this occasion, noun phrase can be divided into three branches, namely noun phrase, conjunction, and noun phrase. Noun phrase of the parents. And from the modal, it is can. From the first phrase, from the verb phrase is divided into verb and noun phrase. Noun phrase is a role in improving pronunciation. In noun phrase, we can divide it again into noun phrase and prepositional phrase. And in prepositional phrase, we can divide it again into preposition plus noun phrase. Noun phrase is improving pronunciation, and noun phrase we can divide it again into noun and noun. To that, we draw the line of this sentence. Noun is parents, conjunction is or, noun is teachers, Modal is can. Play. Verb is play. Determiner is a. The noun is roll. Preposition is in. Noun is improving. Improving is equal to gerund. Okay. And the noun is pronunciation. Well, for the sixth sentence is language acquisition studies the way in language. From this sentence, I found two lexical categories, namely studies and the way. Studies, it included two morphological frame because it's formed by verb, plus third person singular morpheme. Verb is study, third person singular morpheme is s. So it becomes studies. So that in this equation, studies is a verb. For the second one is the way. The way it's included two syntactic frame because it's formed by determiner plus noun. So that it becomes the way. Determiner is the noun is way. So that the way is a noun. From the phrasal categories, I found two phrases, namely noun phrase and prepositional phrase. Noun phrase of this sentence is language acquisition. This is verb phrase, namely studies the way in language. Based on verb phrase, I found prepositional phrase also, namely in language. We draw the tree diagram of the sentence. Noun phrase, verb phrase. The noun phrase is language acquisition is noun phrase, studies the way in language is verb phrase. So that in tree diagram, the noun phrase, language acquisition, we can divide into noun and noun. The verb phrase is studies the way in language. We can divide it also in verb and studies. Noun phrase is the way in language, and in noun phrase we can divide it again into noun phrase and prepositional phrase. In noun phrase, we can divide it into determiner plus noun, and in prepositional phrase, we can divide it into preposition and noun. After that, we draw the line of these three diagrams. So that the noun is language, the second noun is acquisition, and the verb is studies. Determiner is the, noun is way, preposition is in, and the noun is language. And then for the last sentence is the study conducted by Carlson. Because this sentence is passive, the study conducted by Carlson. So that it's included two surface structure. So that we can to analyze this sentence by tree diagram first. And before it, we can find the deep structure of this sentence. As we know that in passive voice, the object, in active voice, it becomes a subject, and the subject in passive voice is become the object. Let's make the active of the sentence. So that the deep structure of the sentence is Carson conducts the study. In this occasion, there is transformation from deep structure to become surface structure. What are the process of this transformation? The first one is movement. Carson is moved to the last sentence. Movement. For the second one is addition, because from the deep structure there is no word of by, And in surface structure, there is the word of by. I think that's all the process of the transformation. After that, we are able to analyze this sentence by tree diagram. SS, or surface structure. From the DS, sentence is noun phrase and verb phrase. The noun phrase is Carson. The verb phrase is conducts the study. Study is noun phrase. We can divide it again in determiner plus noun. Noun phrase is Carson. Verb is conducts. Determiner is the, and noun is study. And for the surface structure, we can draw. In order to know it is transformation or not, we can take the line like this. The noun phrase is the study itself into determiner plus noun. The surface structure is the study conducted by Carson. The verb phrase is conducted, preposition, and noun. Determiner is the, noun is study, verb is conducted, phrase and preposition is by, and noun is Carson. And here is the comparison between the deep structure and surface structure. I think that's all from me. I hope my analysis can be useful to the audience or to the viewers of this video. Thanks. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.